So, I mean, people knew about these stories, but were scared to report them. And, even with my book, we clearly had to be very careful what we put in there. I think there were about 20 pages that were taken out by the lawyers. A lot of stuff was changed. I was amazed how much they did allow, actually, because it's not just libel, it's things like privacy. Yes. Even a prince, is allowed to have a private sex life, but not on the taxpayer's purse. So, I mean, it is really hard. As you know, there's been a lot of publicity about Prince Harry claiming that he didn't have a fight with Prince Andrew, which I have on very good authority from a very reliable source. And we're pushing back on that. But, he, is a bully, and he was trying to intimidate us, Harry, and trying to stop people reporting on the book, trying to undermine my credibility as a historian, that, I make stuff up.
Did he say that about you?
Well, he said this isn't true, and I know it is true. So, recollections vary, as they say, but, as so often with anything to do with Harry. So, I can't wait. I mean, he's not going to follow through with this. It's just an empty threat, but I'd be delighted if he did, because, I'd love to have him on the witness box and begin to ask him some questions about what he said in his application for to go to the States, and if he ever took drugs, and has he a history of fights, and all these other questions.
Bloody hell. Did you have to get right of replies from people for the book?
Yes, things were put to everyone I interviewed. I went back to them to check that it was accurate. I mean, there were some people who'd gone on the record and then refused to be on the record or to allow the thing to be used. So I had to take that stuff out. Yes, pretty much everyone I had. I didn't give right to reply on legal advice to either Sarah or Andrew, because we just thought we would be tied down with the legal stuff, and they would use everything to stop the book. As it is, Sarah's lawyers were writing to Colin's lawyers, making threats months ago before the book came out, and saying in a very intimidating way that they were watching me, they were monitoring my social media, the sort of stuff you'd expect from Russia.
Just you're not at all suicidal, are you?
No. That just gets me more determined to put this boot in.
But I asked that so that if anything were to happen to you.
Right. No, I'm not suicidal.
You must worry about that. Someone might knock you off or,
Well, I mean, there have been a lot of very strange deaths in this story. Quite apart from Epstein, Jean-Luc Brunel died in prison. One of the people who actually talked about the sale of Sunninghill, the son-in-law of the ruler of Kazakhstan, died in prison in very mysterious circumstances. Steve Hoffenberg, who was the man who did the Ponzi scheme with Epstein and went to prison for 18 years. I know that when he learnt that Epstein had died, he absolutely was paranoid. He was in hospital in New England. He said, "I don't want anyone bringing an injection anywhere near me. I want to have security." And Steve Hoffenberg was found dead in very mysterious circumstances. So, one has to wonder, and, there's still big questions about Virginia Giuffre's suicide. Was she pushed through some external pressure? Was it that she just really had enough, because of her own domestic marital problems? But this is a woman who's very tough. I mean, she'd stood up really against some very powerful people and spoken truth. And, though she was beginning to crack up, the timing does seem slightly strange. We've never really, we just, the family said, she died very sadly, and she left a note or something. We've never heard anything more. So, I think, there are some very, very strange things going on in this story.
So you must worry. Do you have a wife or something?
I have wife and children. Is
your wife going like, Andrew, are you sure you want to do this book?
Well, I keep quiet about a lot of things. So, and she doesn't always listen to everything I say on podcasts. So,
she has no idea you've made this book.
So she knows about the book, but I think if these things happen, they happen. But yes, if I get run over tomorrow, then it was an accident or something else.
Yeah, stay away from the roads and make sure you're making your own food and things like that.
And don't eat mushroom beef Wellington.
Why? What's that?
Well, that's how the people poison people.
What, back in the day?
Well, back in Australia, there's a famous case recently.
Oh, a recent one.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that. Okay, another thing was that Epstein said that Andrew and they shared women. Is there any insinuation that together as some sort of orgy?
No, I don't think they shared one at the same time. But certainly Epstein got a kick that Ghislaine was also sleeping with Andrew.
91% watching Heretics clips are not subscribed. Quick favor, hit subscribe. Free, takes 2 seconds, and helps us question everything together.